Right now, you probably have hundreds of friends on social media, maybe thousands. You see their faces every day. You like their posts. You wish them happy birthday. But here's the truth. Your brain physically cannot handle that many real friendships. And the reason why goes back 300,000 years to a time when knowing too many people could actually get you killed. In 1992, a British anthropologist named Robin Dunbar was studying primates, not humans, monkeys. He noticed something strange. The bigger a primate's brain, the larger their social group, specifically their neocortex. It was a perfect correlation. Chimps have bigger brains than monkeys, and they live in bigger groups. Gorillas have smaller social circles, smaller neocortex. The math was consistent across every species he studied. So Dunbar did something bold. He took the human brain, measured our neocortex, and plugged it into the same formula. The number that came out was 150. According to the math, humans can maintain stable social relationships with roughly 150 people. Not acquaintances, not people you recognize. Actual relationships where you know who they are, how they relate to you, and what your social obligations to them might be. He called it the social brain hypothesis. And when he started looking at human history, the number 150 kept showing up everywhere. Neolithic farming villages? Around 150 people. Roman military units called centuries? Exactly 150 soldiers. Hutterite communities, groups that split when they get too large? They split at 150. Gore-Tex, the company, organizes their factories in units of 150 because they found communication breaks down beyond that number. It's not random. It's biology. Your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for social cognition, can only track so many relationships before it hits capacity. Think about what your brain has to do to maintain a friendship. You need to remember their face, their name, their personality, their history with you, their relationships with other people in your network, their values, their sense of humor, what they like, what they hate, and whether you owe them a favor or they owe you one. Now multiply that by 150. That's the absolute limit of what your social brain can handle. And here's the kicker. It's not just one layer. Dunbar found that the 150 breaks down into predictable rings. Your closest circle? About 5 people. These are your ride or die relationships. The people you'd call in a crisis. The people whose loss would devastate you. The next ring out is 15 people. Your good friends. People you see regularly, trust deeply, but maybe aren't in daily contact with. Then comes 50. Your friend group. People you'd invite to a party or group dinner. You genuinely like them, but the relationship doesn't require constant maintenance. Then 150. Your casual friends and meaningful acquaintances. People you know well enough to have a real conversation with, but not so well that you're tracking the details of their daily lives. And then beyond 150, those aren't friends, they're something else. Dunbar calls them casual acquaintances, or faces you recognize. You might have 500 of them, you might have 5,000, but your brain is not processing them as individuals. It's processing them as categories. College people, work people, that guy from the gym. Social media tried to break this rule. Facebook literally called everyone on your list a friend, as if the word meant the same thing whether it was your sister or someone you met once at a conference in 2011. But your brain knows the difference. In 2016, researchers analyzed Facebook data and found that even though the average user had around 338 friends, they only interacted meaningfully with about 4 people consistently. 4 out of hundreds. Another study tracked phone records and found the same thing. People might have hundreds of contacts in their phone, but they only called or texted a core group of about 4 to 6 people regularly. The rest? Dormant. Your brain was doing exactly what Dunbar predicted. It was ignoring the excess and focusing its limited social energy on the people who actually mattered. But here's where it gets darker. Social media didn't just fail to expand your social capacity, it actively damaged it. Because now, instead of investing your limited social energy into your real 150, you're scattering it across 500 people you barely know. You're liking posts instead of having conversations. You're watching Instagram stories instead of calling your close friends. You're maintaining the illusion of connection while your actual relationships quietly decay. Researchers call this social snacking. You're consuming the appearance of social interaction, quick hits of dopamine from notifications and likes, but you're not getting the deep nutrition of real human connection. and your brain knows it. Studies show that heavy social media users report feeling more lonely, not less. Because loneliness isn't about how many people you know, it's about how many people truly know you. And you can't be truly known by 500 people. It's biologically impossible. Your inner circle of 5, those are the people who see you at your worst and stay anyway. Those relationships take years to build and constant effort to maintain. Your brain allocates enormous resources to tracking those 5 people, their emotions, their needs, your shared history. There's no capacity left for 495 others at that same depth. In fact, research shows that when you add new people to your social network, you don't expand the network, you replace people. Your brain runs out of room, so someone gets pushed out. An old friend you haven't called in months becomes an acquaintance. An acquaintance becomes a stranger. Your circle doesn't grow, it just rotates. And this has always been true. Before social media, before cities, before agriculture, your ancestors lived in groups of around 150 people. They knew everyone's name, everyone's business, everyone's role. And that wasn't limiting, that was safety. In a world full of predators and rival groups, knowing exactly who was in your tribe and who wasn't could mean the difference between survival and death. Trust only works at scale when you can track reciprocity. I help you today, you help me tomorrow. But if the group gets too big, you lose track. Someone takes without giving back, and it goes unnoticed. Cooperation breaks down. Dunbar's number isn't just about friendship. It's about the maximum size of a group that can function on trust and reputation alone. Beyond 150, you need laws, hierarchies, enforcement. You need structure because your brain can't track everyone anymore.